The chill protocol. This is today's cloudism, which we translate into custom made nervous system toolkit that brings you home to loving yourself. Hello, beautiful souls. I'm Claudia Catarucci, psychotherapist, author, and creator of the Dynamic Re-Evolution curriculum or university. You'll see more on that later on this month. So keep an eye out for that. And today I'm on a roll. I'm on a mission. I'm on fire with cloudisms, which I haven't done in a long time. But here we go because they've been popping, popping, popping. And what you'll see is I'm going to change my hat each time so that when you see the thumbnail or when you see the clip, you'll know that it's a different cloudism depending on my different hats. So around here, we speak in cloudisms are wisdom sound bites, sticky phrases, because you'll remember them. They'll stick, nervous system resets, and they help you shift your state, your mindset. They'll help you emotionally calibrate, all in the effort to come home back to you. So let me start with a story about my dog, Chance. He's a beautiful black and white Akita. He looks like a wolf. I always feel like I'm in Games of Thrones or something when I'm walking around with him. Oh, he's so gorgeous and delicious. But let me tell you a story about Chance. When Chance was little, we completely socialized them. Even though it was COVID, we took him to a doggy daycare because he's a dominant breed. We wanted him to be super social with other dogs and with people. And he loved it. So about every month he used to get groomed. Easy. He just loved it. Baths, grooming. He would come out fluffy. They would put a little bandana on him. He didn't love that. And what happened about maybe when he was about 10 months, maybe a year, he got nicked. And he got nicked close to his private parts, not on there, but close to them. And then it was a before and after, which is what trauma is. Something happens, and who you were before is no longer who you are after the event. Since then, this beautiful, gentle giant, this teddy bear, this affectionate, human seeking dog became anxious when going to see a groomer or a vet. He was a reactive mess when we visited these places. And that makes sense because get this, when we're anxious, we are in fear. And when we are in fear, we're hyper vigilant for danger. We're scanning for danger. The world is not safe. People are not safe. Places are not safe. Now, what happens when we're in danger? When we're scared, we fight, we flee, we fawn, we freeze. And the fighting part makes sense because it protects us. We get angry. Afraid people can be very angry people for that reason. It's almost like they're barking at the world, constantly trying to protect themselves. Think of that. Fear and anger can go hand in hand. So, my son and I started researching because that's what love does. When we love, we go the extra mile. We research, we find out what can be helpful to our little baby. And we found that very loving vets suggested what they call a chill protocol. Maybe most of you who have fur babies know about chill protocols for thunderstorms, for going to the vet, for going to the groomer, for socializing with other dogs. So his chill protocol includes, yes, anti-anxiety meds on days that he has to see the groomer or the vet. I added to his chill protocol just visits to the vet, walking him to the vet just to say hello. Nothing to do with an appointment, just so that he would warm up and see, oh, this is a safe place. When I walk in, everyone loves me. They cuddle me. Nothing to do with shots or dangerous things. We also added peanut butter during grooming. So he's on his meds, but he's also like pairing it with something he loves, peanut butter. Who doesn't love peanut butter? I love peanut butter. That also soothes me. Now, we also researched the perfect vet. Shout out DC District and our groomer, Deanna, who, get this, sings to him and calls him my prince while she's washing him. She sweet talks him. Sigh. Yup, love makes us go the extra mile. The other thing that's Diana does is that she comes to us. And so he gets to be alone in the bath area. There's not other anxious dogs because we know we pick up energetics. It's just the groomer and him and my son because we want to be a place of secure attachment. Like all of this is safe. This is part of Chance's, my Akita's chill protocol. And so, of course, this made me think that in my private practice, we create chill protocols for each one of my clients. And now I call it that, the chill protocol. Your chill protocol is your personalized, customized, curated set of toolkit options that help your nervous system return to safety, especially if you're a trauma survivor. Yes, sometimes meds are a part of it. It's not how I tend to lead because I'm a holistic healer. Although I find meds can be life-saving. So I'm pro meds. I just like to try a whole bunch of things or include them, just like Chance, in the whole chill protocol. So the chill protocol is like an ecosystem, a clinical, spiritual, psychospiritual ecosystem that we create together. It can include things like somatic exercises, knowing your body, knowing what's happening inside of your body, getting on the floor, kneeling, grounding, walking. I have people sometimes stand up in my office, not now that I've gone virtual, but when I was in the office and move their arms around as they were talking about their trauma experiences or their triggers. It's almost like burning the energy off. And it's also like this parallel process. As I'm talking about something hard, I'm also moving my body because trauma freezes the body. Raising your arms up and down also helps. Hot yoga has been studied. Research says great things about hot yoga for trauma survivors. Great thing to put in your chill protocol. Rucking. I have one client who loves using his body. He puts the weight in his backpack and he goes and walks through the city. Time alone. Make sure that you're cleaning your energy, meditation, whatever it is you need for time alone. I have one client who says to her boyfriend, "Hey, I need to go over here." And she just plays a game that's mindless. Crocheting. I have clients who crochet. I believe I don't know how to do this, but I believe that the tradition of praying the rosary or the Muslim beads, same idea. How do I quiet the mind in my time alone? Someone yesterday talked about jewel art, I think it is, where you create something beautiful by putting these little pieces of what might be pieces that look like jewelry, but it creates something artistic. Beautiful part of the chill protocol. Making your bed is part of your chill protocol because it sets the stage for how you want to feel all day. Ecstatic dance, shaking that trauma out of your body, feeling sensual and not activated. Sound baths, journaling. Can you see how the list goes on and on and on? And it's beautiful. And of course, my dynamic meditation method. I created the dynamic meditation for me. That was my personal chill protocol. And what I realized and I explored and it worked is that I offered it to others. It is an entire toolkit that you keep picking and choosing from, and it's evergreen. It is an actual big, complete chill protocol. Now let's move into weird. Do the weird. And that's a cloudism, by the way. Do the weird. And what do I mean by that? This is what I tell my trauma folks. And remember, I'm a survivor myself. So I'm part of this trauma tribe. And I'm a trauma riser. I took my trauma and post-traumatic growthed it into my next levels that keep going. You too. Do the weird. Find the things that soothe you, even though it might not make sense to someone else. Punto. Period. I'll give you examples of some of my weird. I always go to sleep with something in my ear. Usually an audiobook of some sort that's not activating, or a meditation. What's key here is that it's something that's going into my unconscious that is not harmful. It soothes my inner child as if I have a loving parent reading to me. When I'm highly, highly triggered and I can tell that I'm time traveling back into my trauma, I find a dark, small space. I grab my blanket and I wrap myself in. And this makes perfect sense because it's a swaddling behavior. It's a way that babies feel safe if they're swaddled. That's true for adults. And it reminds me of that I'm taking care of myself. I love kneeling. I love laying on the ground. Weighted blankets work. And remember this part of what we do when we go to bed and how we wake up. Watch my cloudism on the crows or the fairies, because those are moments of trance-like states. That moment we're going to sleep. And usually what gets in are the worries, the negative self-talk, the inner bully. So we want to replace that with new information, with new data, with new seeds. Now remember, doing the weird, you could tell your partner, listen, I'm going to go to sleep with this in my ear. Or if I'm activated, I tell my folks this all the time. If you're at a club, if you're at a happy hour, if you're in a meeting, remember, cars and restrooms are our churches. You can go find a private place, a bathroom stall. I know it sounds weird. Or sit in the back seat of your car. I know it sounds weird, but that's the way to recalibrate, to come back, to get quiet, to ask your questions. Is this about wanting safety, control, or approval? Which is part of the dynamic meditation method. It's the place to have a deep breath if you're feeling overwhelmed or overstimulated. So now let's talk about the 4 pillars of the chill protocol. Write this down. Get your PhD on me journal. Number 1, options. You want more than one tool. I made the dynamic meditation method with many tools because not one serves for everything. Different moments require a different tool, is what I have found. So it is a toolkit. It's not a one-time hack. Number 2, commitment. Use the darn protocol. Commit to using it. I always say diabetics take their insulin, right? You go to the doctor, you take your high blood pressure medication. Same idea. This is a prescription, a holistic, energetic, psycho-spiritual prescription. Don't use it just when you're falling apart, just when you're in crisis, right? You don't take the cholesterol medication just when you think you have high cholesterol. No, you do it over time. Same thing with allergies. You keep doing it. So when allergy season hits, it's not as bad. You're not as triggered. So consistency, gentleness, and seriously. Commit. Number 3, rituals. And remember how I spell rituals. Another cloudism, go check it out in the Cloudism Vault. RICH. Rituals. Rituals, not routines. Make it a ritual. Ritual brings depth and wealth and romance to doing something that you have to do weekly or on a maintenance basis. Remember, not routine, ritual. There's sacred practices woven into your life, like hot yoga 3 times a week, therapy weekly, bi-weekly, alone time scheduled and informed. Inform others. Morning listening, bedtime soothing, daily walks. Remember, they've discovered that daily walks have an EMDR effect, which means that you're moving your eyes from side to side. So if you think of it as like a cleansing, an energetic cleansing, as that hypnotic movement of the eyes is happening while you're walking, grounding practices, kneeling, walking barefoot, getting outside. The cloudism, keep a beat. You do this all the time. Keeping a beat means you stay consistent, you stay on it. You're not seeing it results, but you're keeping a beat. And doesn't keeping a beat sound way more fun than just being consistent? Again, cloudisms are my personal slang that I'm giving to you. So these aren't chores, they're actual lifelines, they're prescriptions. And number 4, super, super, super important. we're not doing it alone. We're doing it in community. Find a community, a Facebook community, a live community, a support group. I offer Wealth from Within, Inner Journey, Outer Abundance, where we talk psychospiritually, multidimensionally, where we're changing our mindsets together, where we're trauma rising together. And people talk openly about their chill protocols. What's helping them? Where did they relapse? Where did they feel they regress? Where do they shame share? Wealth from Within, we do this all the time. But you can find your own community, your own group, your own therapy group, etc. You get me. Healing together is so powerful and so exponential. Healing alone, amazing. Because I sometimes need to go alone and do my healing. And I really, really love that because I go so deeply inside. But I also love to be talking to people about what's happening and finding resonance. Plus, it provides what in group psychotherapy they call universality, which means like, oh, you too? When you discover that other people are going through this, that it's happening to them too. That in itself is healing. It's not just you all by yourself. That's called universality in group psychotherapy. My dynamic meditation method, I'm going to plug it just for a second because I just realized I got this download. Wait a minute. That was my chill protocol. It's one big chill protocol that in the early 2000s, I decided to share with others. And now it's become part of my clinical practice. And it is the foundational stage, the first stage of the dynamic re-evolution curriculum slash university, because you go through it. So the dynamic meditation method is, let's say, it's like your freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior year. It's like undergrad when you go through all the processes of the dynamic meditation method. And you'll see I'm about to launch that at the end of this year, at the end of November, Black Friday, and for Christmas. You'll see what I mean. And it works for little irritations, but full blown freakouts because I'm a complex trauma survivor and I work mostly with people who've had complex PTSD. It changed my life radically. And I've seen it change people's lives radically. It works if you work it. So, what's at the heart of this cloudism? Create your own chill protocol. Think it through. Make a list in your PhD on Me journal. Customize it, curate it, evolve it because it's evergreen. We keep adding what I did 10 years ago. I'm doing something different now. Let it love you. Let it hold you. Let it comfort you. That's the point. Like Chance, this peanut butter and his groomer singing to him. Don't you love that? The idea is, how do we come back to ourselves when we're sitting in our body thrones with a calm central nervous system? And remember, healing is activism. You're stopping the trauma from your ancestral line. You're changing how we move forward in the future. So healing yourself heals the planet. You stop repeating the old story. Come on, let's start anew. More cloudisms coming because you know I'm on a roll. I'm on fire. Catch me on the next one. But before you leave, please like, subscribe, share, comment, get notifications for what's coming next because you're doing this with me. Let's push this algorithm of healing. Let's transform humanity's algorithm from one from destruction and narcissism and all the ways that we trauma bonded with the rest of humanity. And now we're going to bond around post-traumatic growth and healing. Say yes. See you on the next one.